I want to start by talking about the concussions you suffered in your time during the NHL. There are 4 documented, all of them quite severe. Can you tell us about those hits?
Yeah, I think it's important that people also make note of the fact that you said 4 documented concussions, because that doesn't tell the whole story of my case history. You know, dating back to the time I first started playing hockey, I suffered through concussions, at the time not understanding or knowing exactly what I was dealing with, but that ultimately that number is probably well north of 10. But the 4 documented concussions I did suffer through, my first being in 1997. My second in 2000, third in 2004, and my last one in 2005. And I guess for me, the biggest memory that I have is that each one of them took longer to recover from, and ultimately the last one, the 4th one, a concussion that I wasn't able to recover from, and was the end of my career.
How would you describe that 4th hit when you were playing against the Montreal Canadiens? What happened and how did it all transpire?
We were on the penalty kill, and it was a shot off the goaltender, and a rebound came out, and I turned to play the rebound, and the forward for the Canadiens was coming in on the forecheck and caught me in the side of the head.
Did you take those injuries seriously at the time?
Nope, not until the 4th concussion, and I guess at the time I still really didn't completely understand the injury, and thought that I would be able to work myself back to health and work myself back into the lineup. But I know, people often ask me about my concussions, and I reflect on documented concussion number 2, which was in Pittsburgh in the playoffs, 2000. Of really being the beginning of the demise for me, because I stayed in a Pittsburgh hospital overnight, flew back to Philadelphia the next day, and returned to the lineup the next night for Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals, and all the while thinking I was doing the right thing by myself and my teammates, but really should have listened and heeded the symptoms and not returned.
How did you feel when you were told your career in the NHL was over because of all these hits?
Relieved. I was in the trainer's office and told him, in another couple of weeks I'm going to be prepared. I'll be ready. I think I'm on the final stages of my recovery. Only for him to look at me and say, Keith, we appreciate and applaud your efforts, but my conscience will never allow me to give you permission to play. And at that point, my career was over. But honestly, the first instinct I felt was relief, because if he wouldn't have had the courage to tell me that he wasn't going to give me the opportunity to play again, I would have just continued to try.